How's it going, everyone? Want to highlight a bunch of things in this video regarding deals. We're gonna look at some historic low game prices on the PlayStation Store right now. Already did one for Days of Play. There's even more. Don't got a ton, but got some relevant stuff. And one of those is gonna tie to an upcoming free update that is coming out as well. And I know some of you guys are still all about the physical game deals, and we have another notable deal, one that I always go back to show the difference between digital and physical gaming sometimes, which we'll talk that at the end of this video. Kind of like a hodgepodge of a lot of things to cover in this video. So with that being said, let's get right into it with the historic lows, and the one that ties into the free update is Warhammer 40k Space Marine 2. It is 40% off for $42, and I do want to note that the Siege Mode update will be launching this month on June the 26th. It is going to be a chaotic mode where you'll face impossible odds in the siege mode, and there's gonna be a lot to sink your teeth into as far as that's concerned. At this point, they've only dropped a teaser trailer for it, but it's out June the 26th, so it'll come out. Hopefully they'll continue to update the mode, because I think that mode could have, you know, some longevity to it, and the game itself is great. I love Space Marine 2. I thought it was an outstanding game. Now, to be fully transparent, Focus Entertainment did send me a copy of the game, and I had a great time with it. Loved the campaign. I get the criticism about, oh, it's a $70 and you get an 8 to 10 hour campaign. However, if you go back like a decade and a half ago, which I think was the peak of multiplayer shooters, you were paying $60 for games that had 8 to 10 hour campaigns. Like, people want to talk up Gears of War, Halo, and all those games. It's not like those games were 20, 30 hours long as far as the campaigns are concerned. Now, did they have a lot of longevity with its multiplayer? Yes. But Space Marine 2 has a lot of longevity with its multiplayer as well. The PvP, you can say what you want about it. The PvE, I think, is pretty good. And more than anything, they've been consistently updating it with free content updates. Yes, they have some cosmetic DLC available. There's no in-game store or anything like that, but they do have some cosmetics. But you don't need to get that. The major content updates are free. The Siege Mode update is going to be free. There's going to be more free updates for this game, so you're buying it now at a discounted price of $42, which I think is pretty good, and you're going to be getting a level of longevity out of it because you know they're going to continually update this game, and the game did very well commercially. There's going to be a part 3, a Space Marine 3, I should say. Hopefully it won't be like the 13-year wait that we had for, you know, Space Marine 2 or whatever, but $42 for it, I think it's a pretty good price. And if you got a couple of buddies that are going to pick it up as well, the co-op is great. The co-op campaign is awesome, and the campaign, to me, and really the game entirely, harkens back to the heyday of shooters that I love. These days, what do shooters try to do? They try to be these live service games inundated with microtransactions, and yeah, you could say Space Marine 2 is a little bit of a live service since it gets content updates, but they're free content updates, and it just has that level of chaos and that mayhem that I feel like the games from the late 2000s and early 2010s have, and it really does feel like this gem from a bygone era that we don't get a lot more of. With Call of Duty, you're gonna be getting your crossover skins and whatnot and whatever. They gotta make their money. Sony's not gonna be making Killzone. They're too focused on Concord and Fair games. You know, we're not getting games like that anymore. But Space Marine 2, to me, really does harken back to those days. Credit to Microsoft, though. You know, we got Gears of War Reloaded. E-Day, I'm sure, is gonna have some live servicey elements to it. But, you know, you got Marcus and Dom back, so that's pretty exciting. But I digress. Space Marine 2, $42, and you got Siege Mode coming out on June the 26th. Definitely have a gander at that. It's a great game, so definitely recommend that. Alright, some other historic lows. We're gonna get through these fairly quickly. Neon White is 45% off for $13.74. A lightning-fast first-person action game about exterminating demons in heaven. You are White, an assassin handpicked from hell to compete with other demon slayers for a chance to live permanently in heaven. The other assassins seem familiar, though. Did you know them in a past life? You play as Neon White, an assassin plucked from hell to compete with other demon slayers for a shot at redemption. Collect soul cards to attack your foes or discard them to use unique movement abilities. Compete for the best times by cleverly combining cards to discover massive shortcuts. Uncover heaven's mysteries by getting to know the other assassins. Did you know them in a past life? Super stylish game, 45% off for $13.74 on that. Next up, we have Neva, 30% off for $13.99. This is done by Namada Studio, who also put out Gris, which is a game that I constantly recommend. Neva is an emotionally charged action-adventure from the visionary team behind the critically acclaimed Gris. Neva chronicles the story of Alba, a young woman bound to a curious wolf cub. Following a traumatic encounter with dark forces, together they embark on a perilous journey through a once beautiful world as it slowly decays around them. Over time, their relationships will evolve as they learn to work together, helping one another to brave increasingly dangerous situations. The wolf will grow from a rebellious cub to an imposing adult seeking to forge his own identity, testing Alba's love and their commitment to one another. As the cursed world threatens to overwhelm them, Alba and her courageous companion will do whatever it takes to survive and make a new home together. This just came out back in October. I mean, 8 months ago, so, you know, it's approaching 1 year old, but still fairly recent. I'm $13.99 on that. Next up, we have Pacific Drive, 50% off for $14.99. Now, this was a PlayStation Plus title not too long ago, so some of you guys might have it on that, but I really dug Pacific Drive. I thought it was a cool game in a lot of regards. However, the element of crafting, survival, that is just not my cup of tea and ultimately pushed me away from the game. However, the elements that I did dig, the ambiance, the sound design, the aesthetics to the game, I thought those elements were great. I thought they knocked it out of the park. If you're a little bit more into the crafting, survival mechanics of a game, you might end up enjoying Pacific Drive a lot more than I did, and I still was incredibly compelled by the game. It's just mechanically it pushed me away with some of those choices, which it is what it is. Still a decent game to go through for sure. $14.99 on that. Next up, we have Dredge, 50% off for $12.49. Captain your fishing trawler to explore a collection of remote isles and their surrounding depths to see what lies below. Sell your catch to the locals and complete quests to learn more about each area's troubled past. Outfit your boat with better equipment to trawl deep sea trenches and navigate to far off lands, but keep an eye on the time. You might not like what you find in the dark. Unravel a mystery, captain your fishing trawler across a collection of remote islands, dredge the depths, study your craft and fish to survive and fight the unfathomable. All that for $12.49, and that's at a historic low price. Is available on Plus Extra. I would have to imagine it's going to get pulled from Plus Extra at some point. When did it come out? Because it came out right away, March of 2023, so it's actually been on Plus for quite a while. Yeah, like, so I'm not gonna say it's gonna get pulled, but you know, games on Plus Extra do eventually get pulled. It's just, if it already has been 2 years, because I want to say it was a day one Plus title, it might be on there for quite a while. Nonetheless, some of you guys aren't signing up to the scam of a service that is Plus Extra and Premium these days, so $12.49 on that. Also available on Plus Extra is Dead Island 2. That's down to $17.49. I think that's a pretty good price point for Dead Island 2. Now, Dead Island 2 is one of those games where it would really behoove you to get the DLC as well, but if you don't want to, the base game is $17.49, which is the ideal price point for a game like this. Look, $70 for a game at the quality level of Dead Island is just, that's where we jump the shark, you guys. That's where we jump the shark, and, you know, some games, I say, can get away with the $70 price tag. Dead Island 2 coming out at a $70 price point is where we put the kibosh on that. No, no, no. But $17.49 for some zombie slang action mayhem, you can have a good time with it for sure. It's not a blowaway game, but it's a totally fine, good, serviceable zombie slasher, and for $17.49, again, a pretty decent pickup here. Next up, we have Bionic Bay, 25% off for $24.99. Now, this just came out back in April, so a month and a half ago, April 17th. A scientist uses a unique teleportation instrument to escape an ancient biomechanical world filled with imaginative technology, deadly traps, and hidden secrets. The swap mechanic and realistic physics system central to Bionic Bay is an innovative swap mechanic and realistic physics system. When combined, these offer a new way of interacting with the environment, from shifting gravity to interchanging positions with objects and adversaries, and to move, defend, or attack. But be careful not to burn, break, freeze, explode, or vaporize in the process. An ancient biomechanical world and an online mode, competitive speedrunning, leaderboards, and character customization. All that is available for $14.99. We got Sherlock Holmes The Essential Bundle, 92% off for $7.99. Chapter 1, Crimes and Punishment, and The Devil's Daughter, 3 games for $8. If you're into your detective investigation games, that's at a really good price point for all 3 titles. And then Ghost Song is $9.99. Metroidvania title on the desolate moon of Lorien. A long-dormant dead suit awakens from slumber, armed and combat-ready, memory clear of purpose, but something new is stirring. Strike out beneath the surface in search of answers in Ghost Song, an atmospheric 2D adventure of self-discovery, ancient mysteries, and cosmic terror. Great aesthetics to the game, visual style, Gonna be right up some people's alley if you do like more of that horror ambiance. Ghost Song is $9.99. And then lastly, for the historic low game deals, BlazBlue Cross Tag Battle Special Edition, 80% off for $9.99. You've got a crossover of a lot of characters from very notable IPs, and you have the special edition here as well. A stylish fighting game by Arc System Works. You know you're gonna get a good time as far as that's concerned. $9.99 on that. And then lastly, you know, to give you guys a heads up on a physical deal, yes, Metal Gear Solid Master Collection Volume 1 is once again $19.99. One of the biggest scams on digital gaming is the more expensive prices on digital games that you see a lot, and no game represents that more than Metal Gear Solid Master Collection, which goes on sale for $42, and here it is on sale for $19.99. You know, this is one of the more egregious examples of it, but we've seen it with other titles where the physical copy is just much cheaper on sale than the digital copy on sale. Persona 3 Reload will go down to $25. Yeah, Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth will go down to $25. They will be $35 on their digital price points, although Infinite Wealth did hit a new low price point of $28, so that just happened, but you get the idea. We see that a lot, and Master Collection Volume 1 Metal Gear Solid is one of the most egregious examples where the discounted digital price is $42, and here it is for $19.99. So yeah, check it out. It's MGS 1, 2, and 3. 3 is obviously getting a ground-up remake with Delta Snake Eater, but if you want the collection, 20 bucks on that. And that is gonna do it for me. Again, a lot of great deals across the board. Wanted to give some shine to Space Marine 2 with the Siege update coming up. A lot of good other deals as well. Links to everything, as always, in the description box below. That's gonna do it for me. Let me know all of your thoughts in the comment section down below. Sound off there. Thank you for watching, and goodbye. Hey guys, we hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure to hit the subscribe button, and if you're already subscribed, do us a favor and hit the bell icon. This way you'll be notified whenever we post a new video. That's the best way to keep up with all of our uploads, and we usually try to upload 2 videos a day. And with the bell icon hit, you'll be notified whenever we do upload a video. As always, thanks for watching.